Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too, as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, and live the life we love. All right, it's Tuesday, so it's my little song ditty day. And I'm a Beatles fan, and the Beatles, their harmony was to a certain extent influenced by the Everly Brothers. So that means back in 1957, song written by Bordaloo and Felice Bryant. They wrote some great rock and roll songs, but here's one of them. Bye, 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 love. Bye, bye, happiness. Hello, loneliness. I think I'm gonna cry. Bye, bye, love. Bye, bye, sweet caress. Hello, emptiness. I feel like I could die. Bye-bye, my love, goodbye. There goes my baby with someone new. She sure looks happy, I sure am blue. She was my baby till he stepped in. Goodbye to romance that might have been. Bye-bye, love. Bye-bye, happiness. Hello, loneliness. I think I'm gonna cry. Bye-bye, love. Bye-bye, sweet caress. Hello, emptiness. I feel like I could die. Bye-bye, my love, goodbye. Bye-bye, my love, goodbye. Oh, those were the days when the whole song was only 2 minutes and 12 seconds anyway. But still, love that. Easy two-part harmony. For those who are too young to remember that, find the original and check it out. All right, back to the task at hand. What am I filling myself up with today, and what can I share with you that I hope will make sense to you? For my journal writing friends, you don't like to talk about it, but once you sit down with a pen or pencil in your hand, you let it flow and just blurt out the truth, and you never know, there could be a Freudian slip by your sharing your truth that could give you an insight into yourself or to life itself. Anyway, how do you radiate your life and shine your star? Don't pretend that you don't. Everybody has their own way. You may do it on the slide. You may only do it to yourself. But if you're a little bit more exhibitionistic, everybody has light within. We're a chip off the old block. So where do you radiate it? Who do you radiate to? And acknowledge how you shine your star. You tell me yours, I'll be glad to tell you mine. All right. Now, the Sufis remind us, this is the path of gratitude, the attitude of gratitude, that there are so many blessings that reach us that we are so little aware of. So we can't take advantage of it. It's as if we don't know it, it's as if it doesn't exist, but it does exist. So that's the first thing I would say is continue to remind yourself of how many things have been given to you, provided to you, bestowed upon you, and be thankful for that. Now, the geography, history, and environments of people through history may differ, but the basic problems of humanity are the same. Joy and sorrow are age-old, but it appears fresh to each individual moment to moment. So my teacher reminds us all that yoga is the master key to unlock the tiers of being. And tears here, I don't mean like tears like you cry, I mean like layers of being, Tiers. Its practice gives you maturity, poise, and peace. Why wouldn't you do that? If you don't have some centering practice, are you willing to risk the perils of the path? Are you willing to fight the rules that restrict your life process? Because if you don't, you're on the way to drying up. Find the spiritual sense of what I'm talking about, not the hard facts, because I'm giving a lot of clues here. Align yourself with the history of humankind and keep singing the same song that we've all been singing. And remember, no one can predict the next myth, because we're at the terminal moraine of all the old myths. They don't work anymore. So we can't predict the next myth because it doesn't come from your left brain any more than you can predict what you're going to dream tonight. But one thing for sure we know, it has to include everybody this time and not be so provincial, narrow, tribal, clannish, but it has to include everybody. If it's not the all, it's not going to work. Now, for my older friends and also for my younger friends, although it seems like it's only for my older friends, remember Freud coined the phrase libido and thanatos. Libido is the life instinct, thanatos is the death instinct. Now, youth culture, rightly so, appropriately so, focuses on only half of the polarity: your sexual adjustment, your personal effectiveness, your career success, but you've yet to do your homework on death because it's not appropriate. That's phase one. So be comfortable with expansion and activity, achievement, goal orientation. That is the realm of libido. Do it. But most of us are extremely uncomfortable, almost panic-stricken, when dealing with contraction, quiescence, lack of activity, and the inwardness, which is the domain of Thanatos or Hades. Anytime you want to talk about that, I'll be glad to share what's going on with me, and I'll be a listening ear if you want to explain your own struggle between libido and thanatos. Okay. But the real key is whether or not you accept those phrases or not. Are you living at the edge? The more you live at your actual edge, the more you can be fully trusted to be authentically you and present. Where the edge is less important than whether or not you're living at the edge. So the idea is, can you challenge yourself when you stop short and compromise your gifts by catering to your fears? I've said this because it's one of the metaphors that's working for me. The older I get, I keep challenging myself more and more about how do I not bow a knee to outer convention, and how do I face my own inner cowardice that refuses to step up, to do something, or to not do something because of my own fears. So finally, I always go back to affirmation, the thoughts that are running us, the ones that characterize what our destiny will be. So the first thing I have to say that I've learned from the affirmation masters is don't dwell on troubles, but instead realize the presence of spirit where the trouble seems to be. Trouble is opportunity in work clothes. So in light of truth, there is no secular activities. It's all part of your spiritual unfolding. Just remember that anything you build in your consciousness by your attention, whatever you pay attention to, you build in your consciousness, for good or ill. So remember, what you neglect or ignore, it's like a way of starving to death. It's going to fade away. But if you pay attention to your own negativities, it's an uncanny way that you meet your fears dramatized. So my dominant intent is to stay in contact with spirit, and if possible, to be a catalyst to help other people stay in contact with spirit. Because each of us can be a world citizen reaching for the best for everyone. So I leave you with this thought: may the harmony with being who you are be the most important thing that you recognize, so that you can live in a way to make the world a better place. Have a great day. I look forward to speaking to you tomorrow.